Welcome back to AI War 2, everybody. It's time to firm up our plan for the endgame. That's going to include using up as many of our resources as we can, grabbing whatever other capturables we can afford to use, and in general, finding our endgame balance. If you haven't seen already, I've got a link to a feedback video down in the description where I'm looking for ideas on the next run, or you can comment those on this video as well. But the first step is going to be rather self-evident. We're going to do the research that I mentioned last time around. We're going to max out our fusion. Notice it just completely disappears. Max out our disruptive. And you can see that takes care of most of our science. We're going to be using more of that later on. But I do also want to do one other thing. I'm going to upgrade our sentries. That's going to boost our gravity generators, tachyon arrays, tracker arrays, things of that nature. I may want to do a turret upgrade later. I may not. Depends on exactly where our science comes out and what we have to use it for. But with this, we should be able to max out our fleets. We can see we've got 83 there, 60 here, and those both have an empty slot available as well. But then we also want to knock out this data center. So that's going to be our next little ball of wax to tackle. Okay, data center is down. And you can see our floor is slightly above where we'd currently be with the reduction, so that's pretty even. We are going to need to take at least 2 more systems. I've abandoned Stellar Ancestry due to the fact it was just going to cost too much to try to keep it. And you can see our energy is fairly low. It's lower than I'd like it to be. That's because of all the new ships we've built with our tech research. So the reason I need a couple more systems is I want to be able to hit the homeworlds without deep striking. Over here, it would be 4 systems away from Lixer. That's 1 too many. So I've got to take something over here. I don't think we really want to hit the major data center here and inflict more exos among ourselves, particularly since we'd have to take 2 systems to do that. What I'm going to do is take this one instead. That gives us a decent fleet, which is even more energy. I may end up at some point just not building some of the Mark 1 stuff, just to save on energy and pump the energy into the more powerful ships, because of course you don't require any more energy at that level. And this will do a couple things. One, it'll get us in range of here. It keeps us away from it. Now I'm going to want to go in and neuter this core system, and that means ticking off the Praetorian Guard, all of that, but we got to do that eventually anyway. It also gives us in range of this coprocessor without doing any deep striking. And benefit to that is that's the 4th one. I want to hit all the coprocessors. We've got one up here in Jared's mine. Let me just quickly search out where the other ones are. Got one in Glass Globe right over here. And then the other one's in Snowball. So the 2 right next to here are going to be pretty easy to hit. We keep fleets close by this area anyway for defending against the Exos and whatever else may happen. And so that one down here is really the only one that we need to grab this for. So grab that, grab the coprocessors, and then we'll take the next step. All right, the coprocessors are all down, and we have reduced threats some. It's got up to almost 300 at some point, which was a little bit ugly. None gathered too much anywhere. The latest CPA was almost 80 strength, so they are definitely gaining. Of course, we've continued to work on leveling up everything. We're still at level 3, but approaching level 4 on our Spire frigate and our Hagira Ark. We've captured this system. We've knocked out all the coprocessors, and you can see we're down to 56 if you do the math. That's, I believe, 75 below the floor. So we've got some room to play with there. I'd also like to improve our economy. There's a really good way to do it that I actually can't really take advantage of. And now it's the elephant right here. We've got the second homeworld down here. It appears to be maybe slightly stronger than the other homeworld, but its Warden fleet base does not have as many ships. So it's probably 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Probably doesn't matter really much which entry point we take there, which homeworld we go down first. But this one is just too close to the exit hole. Now, I thought it was going to be better than this when I initially looked at this system, but like if it was down here, I would definitely take it. But this is about 10,000 distance here, and the angle's a little bit too much. I just think it's biting off a little bit more than I can chew. So I'm going to take the sort of poor man's version. And I'm going to go grab this matter converter right here in Settle. That's going to require me taking one more system, because I'm going to want to take this system and then get within range here. I'll take this one, which has pretty centrally located wormholes and can be defended easily. So I'm going to be taking a second system, but with the AI progress reduction we've got, that's only going to actually cost me 7 or 8 AI progress each. I want to be careful how high I push this, because with the extra AI progress we're going to get from taking down the homeworlds, I don't want to trigger the next mark level if I don't have to. But I think we're going to be okay with it, at least for the first homeworld. So the plan here is grab Saddle, grab this system, and then be ready to march into the homeworlds after I get some matter converters built up and as much defenses as I feel that I'm going to need. Of course, I need to do a whole bunch of hacking to up my force as well. So it's time to make those final decisions on what I'm going to grab, what I'm not. Well, it took quite a while, longer than I expected for sure, to get into position. But I think we are there. We're going to strike from max here into SHC 13316, the first homeworld, which has actually gone down in strength because we knocked out this system over here, which is the reason for taking Monophene up there. And they like to send reinforcements from the neighboring systems if you smash a homeworld. So I tried it for S&G, tried doing it without that, and yeah, didn't go very well. Partly because of the Warden fleet base here. Oh, over 1,500 ships. Nice. So it definitely doesn't need any extra help. And I should say, by the way, that I could have done this better. One of the sort of pro strategies is to not allow the Warden and Hunter fleet to build up too much. It's a little bit harder when you have them on the, stay close to your base setting that I do. But at the same time, if you can cut them off as they're traveling through systems from place to place, you can whittle them down throughout the game, and I definitely did not do enough of that. That's something that could be done better. Of course, you can just get here faster and it doesn't have as much time to build up. That helps. But we are where we are. I did get another support fleet over here, which is kind of nice. But the main reason was to get down here without deep striking. So we're going to be taking that out soon, but we've done some other things. We've done a bunch of hacking. Let's just show that real quick. This is my whole list for the game of everything that I have hacked. And the key ones that we're looking at for this right now is we grabbed more Pike corvettes to add into our disruptive fleet. We doubled our parasitic fusion bombers, doubled our parasitic Pike corvettes, and this is giving, the amount here is giving the amount at Mark 1. They're much more than that. For example, the fusion bombers, we went from 90-some to 190-some. Did a couple covert extractions to get more science as well. And so we're at 3,000 science. And energy is not as great as I would like. I did some more research, including I boosted Blue Wonder here. I did if we go in here, the whole upgrading the command station itself. And you can see I've already gained one fleet level from science. I can get another one for 3,000. Don't need that. But the command station's up to Mark 2. That gave us another 100k in energy to try to start paying for things. I still don't like being quite as low as I am. I may put up more matter converters if I need to do that. And then sort of in the standard research part, I grabbed a turret hull. We really thought we needed that to boost our defenses given the waves are getting larger. This is actually a relatively small one. They've been more up around the 30 range, sometimes higher. And then we've got a heavy hull type that I grabbed as well. And you can see the various assault frigates we've got, including all the station-keeping ones. The heavy fusion bombers, pulsar tanks, we've got a bunch of those and some smattering of things. So that really helped with those, boosted them up from most of them Mark 5 to Mark 6. So not quite all the way, but they're looking good. So let's see, a normal system is something sort of like in Valet. It's got slightly stronger than normal defenses, but pretty close. And I think it's got the assault frigates because it's protecting this coordinator. But if we look at what it has, we've got 18 of the Mark 6 MLRS and 19 of the Pike, so those are our key ones. And then Mark 3 nucleophilic and sniper. And so the strength is much stronger here. And if we go to our main choke point system, where we've got still the battle station doing its thing, 115 strength. And nobody has attacked this in like forever. But my point is, I don't want them to. If this lives, then my homeworld lives, and believe me, I plan on having it live. So we've got a nice big stuff, 50 MLRS just by themselves, along with everything else, Mark II spiders. And then this down here is my filler fleet, literally. And let's see. It's having a bit of trouble selecting it there. But we've got, all the Mark I and such ships. I'm not even building them right now. Because again, to save energy, using the energy more effectively on the higher Mark ships. So we've got the Disruptive, a full set of ships now. We've got Hegira. That's our wonderful Ark. See, it's Mark III. But it's got the heavy fusion bombers, the 3 pulsar tanks. You can see that doubled line of parasitic fusion bombers also added in there. And then our fusion, up over 100 with all Mark 7 maxed out fusion bombers. And then we've got our Spire fleet floating around somewhere. And the Spire is at Mark 4. Almost 4 million in shields, 3 million plus in health. And the weapons doing quite well. Thank you very much. So that's what we've added up to, and what we're going to use to attack. Do our best with it anyway. We still have lots of hacking. See, we're at 1.0 and 1.5 for the response level. But I wanted to have some leeway. I didn't want to use everything and then feel like I should have used it on something else later on. Okay, so back to where we were. And if we pop in here, got a couple things going on. We've got these down here, Lochran and Manid. I haven't bothered changing those names. But our support fleets are going to rebuild everything that we need right here in this system. We've got our 4 main fleets that we just talked about, and the fusion bombers are out. Now the reason that's the case is they're going to go in first. I want them to sort of take the alpha strike from the enemy, have the enemy focus on them, and leave our flagships to wander around and do other things. Let's get this show on the road.
Enemy ships on our planet.
Okay, then as soon as they start coming in, I'm going to select the rest of these. And now we're going to go in with everything else. Let's just pop in and take a quick look. There we go. Oh yeah, hi everybody. How y'all doing? They got AI, anti-player zombies down here. We've got all kinds of fun things. They've got a few guard posts. Dire Parasite there is kind of evil. And then they've got Sabbat down here. What I want to do is I want to get away from this stuff and get up sort of into that corner right up there. So that's my goal here.
Under attack in enemy territory.
And I'm going to just sort of... yeah, let's move up that way. There we go. Okay, now that we're coming in here, there's our Spire frigate. So we'll move that here. Let's move this along a little bit further. Okay. Now for the fusion ships themselves, the flagship will keep going there, but let's knock out this Guardian. Let's make that go away. Then we want to make sure that we unload. Moving everything to attack move. We're going to unload the ships from the Hagira. We're going to unload the disruptive. And they'll have that, 6-second thing that they're going to have there. Now I want to move those ships. Let's see, about here. No, Hagira I want more up here. Disruptive about here. I want them to just sort of play center field with everything, but I want to keep the arc itself going up that way. And then also the transport ship itself. I definitely want the 2 transport ships for fusion and disruptive. I want them to get all the way up here in the corner because I don't want them to be exposed to fire. They're definitely going to be the most vulnerable.
What an insignificant assault.
What an insignificant assault. Yeah, let's see what you have to say in a little while. Now you can see, yeah, we're blowing things up. Not having a whole lot of fun ourselves. Oh, look at the shield already halfway down. Let's get, let's see. I think you're about where I want you. Let's put you here. And I want the Spire Frigate to stay right with it so that it's protected, so it can last a little while. Okay, the 2 Theta is gone. Well, the one of them is anyway. And this is going to be the one that's the first immediate obstacle. The question is, do I want to go after it right away? And I don't think I do. I think I want to just... Let's check that range again. Yeah, it's coming right up here. So I want to hold everybody right up in here and then just see what comes up and closes. And you notice they've done a bunch of damage to us, but in actuality, we don't have, like, our ship count is just fine. We haven't lost that many of the ships. Part of that's due, of course, to our lovely rebuilding in the other system. And then every time I've moved something to open space, I've got to make sure that I tell the flagships again to stay where they are. Because if you target an enemy unit, it'll go, just the ships will go. But if you target open space, the flagship tries to go in there. So, let's move you right down in here. There we go. And they're bumping up all the way up to here. But there's not that many of them there. And this being in range of the enemy, of course, helps because it can rebuild its shields with the damage it does, the lovely vampirism effect. Oh my, they're shooting all the way up here at that.
Major enemy incursion into our territory.
Huh.
Our planet is
There's a
under
lovely
attack.
error. Okay, I like to keep an eye on the overall balance here. You see, we have 312 strength. We started with 330. They're down to 212. We're doing just fine overall. And then the Spire Frigate likes to go float off, some of the ships do, to various things. Ah, human resistance fighters. That was nice of them to join us. Okay. And I could be wrong, but I think I want to send my fusion after this. Because those 2 Theta Guardian with their wonderful drones that zombify, I don't like them. They make me upset. But I feel like we've got enough firepower now that we can afford to do that. Yeah, and they're just sort of pounding this. It's doing fine for now, but I have to watch that.
Hostile ships detected on critical planet.
And of course, the Sabbath here is not a threat to our regular
Taking
ships.
fire behind enemy lines.
It's just a threat to all of the other fun things. The flagships and whatnot. Come on,
All turrets
kill it.
open fire.
Yep, Parasite firing
Critical
away.
planet under attack.
Goodness, it's still surviving. Yep, we still have lots of ships. They're streaming out constantly.
Enemy force on planet.
And they're probably running into other enemies this side of it. It's probably what they're doing.
A human resistance cell has engaged the AI.
It's almost down. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to take them off of attack move because I want them to go knock out the Parasite. Yep. That's a grenade launcher. Knock out the Parasite guard post, and then we might be in business. So there's lots of damage both ways, but, they're down to 170. Our fleet strength is holding much better than theirs. So I like that. And this is, okay, we turned a Force Field Guardian against them. That will help. We're pounding this stuff over here. Let me just see. Anti-AI zombie, anti-AI... Okay. Yeah, we've turned most of that stuff. I don't think I want anybody to do anything they're not already doing. Spire frigate. Let's back you up in here. And we can move out a little bit more probably once this goes down. But I want that to go away first. And of course, by taking off the attack move, I made it so those ships would simply head straight there before messing with anything else. Come on, knock it down. There we go. Now let's try this grenade launcher.
Damage report. Planet defenses under fire.
Yep, having a metal flow error there. Okay, now where are we? Yeah, you can see they're down to 88, and we have not lost that much. So our rebuilding has essentially been able to keep up. And of course, there's the Overlord down there. We don't want to mess with that yet. So we're just going to go around. We're going to knock out the Sabbath. What do we have down here? There's a Shredder guard post. And actually, let's get that first. I'm just sort of sending the fusions all over to
Enemy ships
hit
on our planet.
all of the installations, while the rest of our ships are doing a great job at keeping everything under control with their fleet attacks. There we go. Knock out the Sabbath.
Hostile ships detected on critical planet.
All right.
Substantial enemy presence in our territory.
Yeah, our fleet strength's actually going back up towards the max, and they don't have much left. So this battle has pretty much been won at this point. So, I think we want everybody on attack move. Why don't you go ahead and take out that last Shredder guard post. Let's move our Hagira group right down here in the middle of things. Get the Spire frigate down there. Disruptive. Let's go out in the same area. Except, of course, we're going to tell the fleet leader to stay where it is.
They're giving up. Human resistance cell retreating.
And then we'll get the Warden fleet base here eventually. But again, all those masses of ships, but again, a lot of them are low mark. So we've been able to succeed that way. Now, how are you doing? Your shield's still okay for the moment. I'll let you take some fire. If it gets too low, I'll move you back underneath the Hagira. Okay, that's down.
Critical planet
And there's
under
not
attack.
much left here. Okay, let's go after the Warden fleet base. Let's just knock it out,
They won't survive our first run.
and then we can get to work.
Incoming resistance transmission.
Boom.
Sorry. Major enemy force in our territory.
Always count on us.
Of course, you continue to get the attack warnings, but that's just the Devour Golem. We're not worried about that. And they're pounding on this, but I don't really want them to do that yet. We're just going to do hold fire for you. Come over this way.
Take care of that.
All
Move the
turrets,
Hagira
fire
there
at will.
and hold fire. And you can hold fire and come here. We're going to take some damage. Spire here. And what I want to do is make sure I'm fully rebuilt before I tackle this thing. I don't think I have to take anything else out and have it repair, although we've got stuff coming in through that way. So let's check. Yeah, you're doing fine. They're ignoring you. We've got some zombies. We've got... Oh my, look at all this. We've got all kinds of Hunter Fleet stuff coming in. You can see there's our decoy drones, annoying them.
Major enemy incursion into our territory.
Okay, I don't think we're going to get much better than this, especially with a Hunter Fleet coming in. So I'm going to take off the hold fire. And let everybody just bombs away.
Planet under attack. They just won't stop.
And now we're pounding the Overlord, so we're about to see a
Hostile
big
ships
AI
detected
progress
on critical
boost, of
planet.
course. Question is, can we take out the Phase 2 with this group? We're about to find out.
Ships detected.
There we go.
IFF signals are friendly. Our planet is under attack.
All right, they're going after the Spire frigate, so let's move underneath the Hagira shield. Oh, yep, there it goes. They use their plasma weapon or whatever, the plasma overdriver. So shield's not quite so effective against... And of course, we're going to lose the Spire frigate here soon. But I want to keep it in here and firing.
Neutral planet.
Most of the shields are down. We're doing a pretty good job controlling the zombification, I do think. And our fleet strength is still doing just fine, thank you very much. Okay, Spire frigate is crippled. So, let's move that in there and have it repaired. There's no point waiting on that. Yep, they're all gonna...
A human resistance cell has engaged the AI.
They're all pounding on it. Let's make sure that everybody is attacking. Nobody is confused about what they're supposed to do. Okay, Spire frigate. You're gonna move over here and get yourself repaired.
One of our planets is under
They
attack.
continue to spew more ships out, of course. Quite a few, actually. So it's not down, but it's close. Okay, hold on. Now, everybody. Oh, we lost the Hagira, too. Grr. I'm just gonna do this the intelligent way.
10-4.
I'll see it done. Very good, sir.
Everybody go through. It's just barely on the other side. And you should be repairing this. Please repair it. Yeah, that counter shouldn't be anywhere near that high. Eligible to be repaired? Whatever. Everybody's coming over this way.
I've seen worse odds, yeah?
Let's move the Hagira Arc over here as well.
En route.
Yep, you stay over here.
Critical planet under attack. Enemy ships
And
on
there
our
we
planet.
go. So, it did escape the wormhole, but not for very long. It says it's been defeated and it's gone rogue. And this is one of the wonderful things that the AI does when it goes rogue. They're sending a wave of 50 strength against the other AI. Not against me. Against the other AI. That'll be fun. And yeah, here's another wave. So the AIs are fighting each other. It's not quite like a Civil War thing. They tend to be fairly random about it. But there's all kinds of strange things that are going to happen in the galaxy now. So what about us? Well, our AI progress is up to 246. It's almost to the next mark level, but not quite. Everything's unlocked, including, drumroll please, wormhole invasions. Yay. We'll probably be seeing that, which I'm not looking forward to. But hey, it was victory here. Now what? Well, I mean, we might as well, take the system, or maybe not. It costs 15 AI progress. Yeah, it's probably not worth it. Over here is Ancrew. And how do we get in here? I mean, the Warden fleet is not as big, but we're going to have a hard time coming down through this here. And of course, everything's going to be reinforcing. Waves are going to be bigger due to the heightened AI progress. I'm going to try to pound my way through here. I'd only have to take this system against the eye and then set up for that attack. And obviously, the sooner the better. I mean, we're going to try to get there quickly and do this, because the longer this goes on, wormhole invasions, all manner of chaos is likely to erupt. It's only going to get worse. And if I have to come down through here and clear out Violetris, well, that's going to be an issue, because we don't have anywhere close. I mean, we're several systems away. So that could get problematic. However, there is time to celebrate this victory before we worry too much about that. We have knocked out one AI. They're going to be bothering each other as well as us. And now we just have to move in for the final victory. I hope that will be coming up next time, but you never know what other surprises may be in store. Till we get to that, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully the conclusion of the Real War Begins run will be coming up next.